Hi, Sarah here. Today let's do a little bit of the sideline. So I'm going to be using the gold and the black ball. And you do want to make sure that you are using the Yamuna product for these rolls. You will get the best results and you won't hurt yourselves. So I'd like to start with the gold ball to the very top of my right thigh bone. So if you kind of move that leg, you'll see where the joint is, where the crease is. That's where you want to place the ball. And then come down onto your side. So I'm coming down onto my right side. My right forearm is underneath my shoulder, and I'm trying to lengthen my right toes away from me as much as possible here. You can stack your legs, and a top leg can do whatever assists you with balance for right now. Try to lift those ribs up and away and breathe to where that ball is, breathing into the joint. One more breath here. Exhale, bear your weight down into the ball. So keeping that weight into the ball, pull your body forward. The ball rolls down a little bit, and you'll feel yourself come to a thicker part of the bone as you roll the ball down your thigh a little bit. That's the greater trochanter. I want you to press there. Inhale. Exhale, bear your weight down into that ball. You can also push up onto your right hand, lengthening that arm. That's going to give you more of a stretch here, but it is a lot more work on the shoulder. So if that's too much for today, just stay on the forearm. If you want a little bit more of a stretch down that sideline, press up onto your palm and stretch the elbow, but just make sure that that shoulder is away from your ear. And now keep your weight into that ball, pull your body forward towards your head again, and the ball rolls about a third of the way down that right IT band. Exhale, pressing into the ball. Inhale and exhale. Bear your weight down as you exhale. Pull the ball down your leg a few more inches. We're going to try to get all the way down the upper thigh, stopping just above the knee joint. If it starts to become too much work on the shoulder to stabilize here, just again come down onto the forearm. Let's take one more move. Bring the ball just an inch or so above the side of the knee joint. You don't want to cross that joint. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then sit yourself off of the ball, lengthen both legs out in front of you, and voila, we've got one longer leg. Created a little more space up in the joint. Now we're going to continue up the right side of the body. Take your left hand and reach across your body to find your lowest ribs on the right side, and then bring your fingers up above that. So you kind of stack your fingers here. The ball is going to go above the top finger and then come down onto your right side, supporting your head with your hand. I have my black ball here within grabbing distance, so if you have a black ball, just bring it handy in front of you. And now come down onto your right side, reaching your right elbow away from you, reaching those right toes away from you. The reason I had you reach for those lowest ribs is you never want to put direct weight or pressure into those lowest ribs, into the floating ribs. You always want to be on the ribs that have a true connection to the sternum, which is that flat bone that comes down the center of your chest where the ribs attach. So you always want to just be safe and avoid putting pressure into those floating ribs. We're breathing over the ball. The ball is directly to the side of my rib cage. The pec muscle is pulled forward out of the way. You're not on the breast tissue at all. Move the air over the ball and feel your ribs expand as you inhale. And then as you exhale, try to find a little more length. One more breath. And now roll the ball up a little bit. I'm dragging my body down and the ball is moving up a few inches. Now the upper edge of the ball is just below the base of my armpit joint. Lengthen your right arm long, walk those fingertips away from you, And take the black ball and bring it to the side. Bring it on top of your shoulder and let it support the side of your neck, side of your head. Breathing here. That should feel comfortable here. If you don't have a black ball, you can make a fist with your hand and use that to create a little space and support your head. Walk the fingertips away, walk those bottom toes away. Breathe over the ball. Keep the weight into that ball and pull the ball up a little bit more so now it comes into that armpit joint. Reestablish the length down the right side. Walking your fingertips away. Top leg can be staggered, can be bent. You want to really just focus on that length from your right fingertips to your right toes. Ribs are reaching up and away. Pelvis is reaching down. We're trying to create space in between the rib cage and the pelvis. And now move your air over the ball so you're breathing into those smaller ribs that cross the armpit. They get really stuck. So move our breath there. Try to break up restrictions. Take the ball a little more forward in the joint, rotating slightly to face the mat with my chest. I still haven't rolled onto the breast tissue. I'm just rolling towards the front of the armpit joint. Go back through the middle. And then come towards the back of your joint. Roll the ball up another tiny bit. Creating a little more space here. Walk your fingertips away. And then bring the ball back to the center of your joint. Take 2 more breaths here. You can use your top hand to traction the ball towards those right fingertips. Try to create even more space here in the joint. And then carefully come on off of those balls. Lay down on your back. Reach your right arm up over your head. And breathe. Feel how much more freedom you have in the rib cage. Bring the left arm up overhead for comparison. Moving your air. And just feel how the right side of the body sits on your mat. Check in with your sacrum, the thigh bone, the way the lower back, the way the back ribs hit the mat. Shoulder blade should feel more flat along that mat. And the collarbone a little bit wider. Good, so carefully bring yourselves up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. The ball is going to come to the very top of your left thigh bone. In that joint space. Lengthen your left leg away from you. Left forearm is underneath your shoulder. And try to reach the rib cage up and away. Breathing there. And exhale. 1 more breath. And then keep your weight into the ball. Pull the ball down your leg a little bit. You're going to come to that thicker part of the bone there. Micro move around till you find the bone. And press there. If you'd like a little more stretch down that left side, down the left waist, come up onto the hand, stretching your elbow, and keep finding that length. 1 more breath. Pull your body forward again. The ball rolls down your leg a little bit more. Breathing here. Bearing your weight down into the ball on the exhale. The inhale lifts you slightly. The exhale bears you down, connects you down to the side of the femur bone. Pull your body forward again. The ball rolls about 2/3 of the way down the left IT band. Let's take a couple breaths here, but always stay active in your breathing. Try not to zone out. Direct your breath to where that ball is. And then come off of that gold ball. And then let's find the floating ribs with the right pinky finger. Lay your other fingers down, bring the ball up above those, and come down onto the left side of your body. Have your black ball handy for a little bit later on in the roll. Reach the elbow away from you, reach those toes away from you. Ribs and hips are finding some separation, and breathe over the ball. And exhale. Let's take a few more breaths here. Feel those ribs moving over the ball. Try to get the armpit as open to the mat as possible. And then lengthen your left arm long. Roll the ball up. Use the black ball to support your head. Keep the fingertips walking away. The upper edge of the ball is just underneath the armpit joint. Move your air to where that ball is. Your pec is pulled out of the way so you're really on the side ribs. And exhale. Let your head just rest comfortably on that black ball. Roll the ball up into your left armpit joint. Against my media center here, but I'm going to try to find as much length as you can down that left side, moving the breath into the ribs that cross the armpit. Picture the ribs in your mind's eye, and as you inhale, let them expand. Feel them expand, see them expand. And now roll the ball forward in the joint. Again, moving your breath, directing your breath over that ball as you inhale. Keep finding that length. You can traction the ball up a little bit. Come back to the center of the joint. Roll to the back of the joint. You can roll the ball up another ½ inch. My palm is rotated forward. Keep finding that length. Lift the pelvis and lengthen it away. 2 more breaths here. Bring the ball back to the center of the joint. Press it. Give it some traction with that top hand. Keep walking the fingertips away. One more breath here. And then take those balls out. Come onto your back again. And let's let that settle in. Lengthen your arms and legs away from you along the mat. Reach your left arm up overhead. You can reach both arms up overhead. And feel how much more air you can bring into those ribs, into the lateral ribs. How much more length you have down the sides of the body. Bring your arms down by the sides of your body, palms face up, and just feel that nice width you have along the collarbone and the way the shoulder blades sit nice and open to the mat. You should feel even now along the pelvis. Both thigh bones should fall open nice and evenly. And just stay there. Let that settle in. Breathing, letting your body process that. Thank you for joining me for the sideline.